In this video, I'll show you how I went from no live streams to 7 live streams in a week using this simple workflow, and how it's become a game changer for me in its ability to spin off long form and podcast content. If you want to move ahead to any particular chapter, then I've got chapter links down. I'm AppyDave, let's get into it. I've just brought you over to AppyDave Research. It's one of my older channels, and I've reactivated it 2 weeks ago as a way of doing behind the scenes research and being able to communicate information to people on my channel in a different format. And the reason for that was because of how long it was taking to get videos out on the AppyDave channel. So what you can see here is a bunch of live streams that I've done over the last 2 weeks. Now you can see over here on the left that 45 minutes ago I finished a 1 hour live stream, and in that particular live stream I kind of created the script that I'm talking to right now. Now I don't use a teleprompter, I am just talking based on the outline that it created. If you want to find out more, you can check that out. But yesterday I did these 2 videos as well, and what they were the planning for 6 different live streams that I want to do next week. And the good thing is each planning stage took about 10 to 15 minutes. And if you've ever created videos and you understand the problem of research, script writing, recording, editing, packaging with titles and thumbnails, publishing it out to LinkedIn, or doing the different things like repurposing it as I've just done right now, you know that this is an incredibly long-winded job. But here I am with a live stream that can take 10 or 15 minutes to prepare and record for an hour, and you're done. Maybe you might do a little bit of packaging afterwards with titles and thumbnails, but generally you're done. Now I just want to talk about the first reason why I think a live stream can be a game changer for what you're working on. So here we've got 2 videos. There's no packaging. I haven't done thumbnails, I haven't done titles or anything like this. What they were was I was walking to the coffee shop, I had an idea and I thought, geez, I'd like to record this. Now I didn't even have a microphone. I had noise in the background, but I was able to get the information in my head that I think is important to my audience out really quickly. Then if we look at this video, and we have packaging here, and notice when I say packaging, I mean we've got a really good title, we've got a thumbnail, and we can see it on this video, and there's a little one down the bottom here as well. Now I don't make packaging the primary goal of my live stream. I make getting information out quickly the primary goal of the live stream, and I'm currently working on automation flows so that the packaging can be done as well. But the good thing about this particular video is that it was done on the new O3 mini model from Open. Now, if I'd have sat down to do a video on this would have been 2 to 3 days for me to get out. Turned up 5 minutes earlier, I just opened up ChatGPT. There it was. I thought, I'm going to do a video on this. And luckily I've done that video, which you can see right here. And I've done another video on how I created this script by testing out the 4.0 versus O3 mini model while creating the script. Now, when I first started the journey 2 weeks ago, the only goal was that I had all these great ideas coming into my head around things that I'd learnt, and I had no way of getting them out in YouTube videos on AppyDave. But I thought, at least record myself learning the process. Maybe there's something I can repurpose. Maybe there's information that people can learn. But the problem is with the first 5 that are going on here, I didn't do any planning. All I did was had an idea, structured it. I did set up the screens that I wanted to talk about, and then I went ahead and did it. But I hadn't thought of the title. I hadn't thought of the intro, the hook. I hadn't thought of the outro. I didn't think of whether there needed to be calls to action. And I certainly didn't have a clear script or an outline. And what that led me to is these 2 videos here where I actually developed a workflow just for the live stream planning phase. And I was able to execute it over 2.5 hours yesterday by planning 6 different live streams. Now, there are a lot of benefits of live streams that are repurposed into different concepts, and I'll go over 2 now. There are others. The first one is the video you're watching. It's a talking head video. I'm demonstrating a concept, and hopefully this video will go for about 15 to 20 minutes max. But it's all based off a 1 hour and 10-minute live stream that I did 45 minutes ago and just re-articulated as a script or an outline that I can follow. So we've just talked about repurposing from live stream to long form videos, but what if you want to go from a long form video to, say, a faceless YouTube channel? And that's what happened last week for me. So I was doing the OpenAI operator. I saw the live stream 3 hours after it happened, but it took me another 2 days before this 12-minute video got released. Now, first thing, I should have done a live stream as soon as I saw it, because this is something I could have talked about and been right at the very beginning of the trend. As it was, I was 2 days late. One of the other issues with it is that from my point of view, the video flopped. Even though the information was pretty detailed, I thought my intros and my hooks didn't succeed. And I thought, what do I do? Do I learn from it? Which I did, but I thought, no, let's repurpose it into a different video, another long-form video. So what I did was take the OpenAI operator video. It's 12 minutes long and it's got a whole lot of images, and I took it over to one of my old channels called Winning Prompts, and I've just recently reactivated it 3 weeks ago with this video, and then 4 days ago with a variation. And the good thing about this particular video, I'll just hit play for a second.
Today's video, we're diving deep into OpenAI's latest innovation, Operator, the first AI agent designed to interact directly.
And with this video, what we've got is a much more succinct script. It's 2 minutes and 48, and it's very clear. It's got good calls to actions. It's got good hooks. It's got good outros. And the great thing is that this video took a lot less time to create, and it was just because I was repurposing content that I'd already done. Now, if you want to check out that video, you can head over to Winning Prompts. Like I said, I'm reactivating it. But let's move on to the next example. So down the bottom here, we've got this video called Scraping ChatGPT, Recovering Lost Prompts. Now, this was my very first live stream. I did the live stream and I thought the information is good. It's quite long-winded. We can see the information coming through right here. But I thought, could this be converted into a podcast? Now, this is the AppyDave research channel, but I'd love to see podcasts on the AppyDave channel. So what I was able to do was create a podcast really quickly, and we'll just hit play on this. And before I let it run, I'll just talk through what you're about to see. So we've got the man talking, and there'll be a little bit of animation around that. Then the woman talking, a little bit of animation. Then I will come into the scene. And then a little bit later on, we'll show you different scenes. So let's just hit play on this.
It's a perfect example of how AI can be used to solve problems in ways we wouldn't expect.
So instead of freaking out, he just turns to technology to fix it.
Yep.
Clever.
Exactly.
Have you ever written information down and made... So there we have a 13-minute podcast. It was made from a much longer video. We've got the two speakers. We've got an intro. If we go down to the end, we've also got an outro going on. This is me talking.
And also how I use.
And along the way, there's also different screenshots from the original video being put in place. And this was such a simple process to do based on the live stream I'd created. So I've talked about the scenario and a bunch of the benefits of live streams, but I think you're here in this video to figure out how to do it for yourself. So let's get into the live stream planning process that I go through. So we've come over to my agent workflow, and we're specifically on the live stream video planning workflow. It's called YouTube Video Planner, and we're in live stream planning at the moment. And other things that we can do is we can develop a script. We can do launch optimization, which is the packaging. It's the titles, the thumbnail text, the thumbnail design, etc. We can do the amplification, which is where I would create the articles, LinkedIn, emails, stuff like that. And this is actually a repurposed video because I've already done the live stream, and that's where the repurposing of content would kick in. But with the live stream planning, the way I start is I have a basic video idea that I want to talk about and who it's aimed at. From that, I should be able to generate a concept and a goal pretty quickly. After I've got that information, there'll be certain things I actually want to talk about. So I'll put in the talking points. And by having these two in place, I should then be able to re-clarify and get a better video goal going on. After that, I just get a little project name for where I'm going to save the videos on my computer and build a YouTube title. Now, I don't have to write the script and all this sort of stuff just yet. That is often enough information for me to go straight to live stream if I want to. And this will take us about 10 minutes if we do it. Now, I'm not going to do it because I've already done it this morning. You can actually see the live stream in the link below. But the video that we're talking about is around this concept called the 555 Manifesto. So what is the 555 Manifesto before we look at the workflow? So this was a document that I created in September 23, so 18 months ago. And it was a goal for myself, a manifesto of sorts in which I could create 555 videos over 55 weeks in 5 different channels. Now, I'm getting close to being able to execute on the manifesto. I have 4 channels, 2 of them recently activated, and the 5th one is actually talked about in the live stream. But basically, I needed this ability to create videos quickly in different styles for different niches across different channels, and no one was talking about this online. In fact, everyone was saying, don't do it, just do 1 channel, or at most do 2. And I thought, no, I'll be stupid and I will try and do this myself. And I'm making solid progress. So if we go back to the workflow, if I'm going to talk to people about this in a live stream, then this is what I've got to do. So we're over in the Agent Workflow Builder, we've got our project code A18, and I've put in a simple purpose that says showcase the idea of setting up 5 channels, 555 videos in 55 weeks. And I've done an initial audience. Now I know this will be used for YouTubers. This is the sort of thing that could be used for anyone in content marketing, Instagram, TikTok, and for key people of influence. And if you don't understand that term, that's people that are trying to build a brand around certain ideas that they're passionate about. And the great example here is the 555 Manifesto, because not too many people online are talking about running more than 1 channel at the same time. Most people say it's the wrong thing to do. I think there is a workflow and an automation that can get us there. So the next thing is, once we know this, we run it through a prompt in ChatGPT. Take the initial purpose that we put in, have the initial target audience, and then there's long-winded prompt, and down the end of it, we get 2 values. We get a video purpose and we get a target audience. So the video purpose reads as demonstrate a structured approach to launching and managing 5 YouTube channels, producing 555 videos over 55 weeks. This video will provide a step-by-step breakdown of content planning, production workflow, monetization strategies, and audience growth tactics. It's designed to inspire certain people. We've got YouTube as digital entrepreneurs, and to do it efficiently while maintaining engagement. Now, this might not be the correct purpose, and we can fix that a bit later, but it gets us started. And then we got the audience. So we got aspiring and established YouTubers, content creators, digital entrepreneurs, and those that want to build multiple revenue generating YouTube channels. Now, this includes people like myself, solo creators or people with small teams. I do have some people that help me. So there is a small team, business owners, and people looking to create brand growth. So what I like to do is then just take and copy these pieces of information. I move it into the next step in the workflow. Now, the structured workflow really allows me to move forward quickly, but there are times when you need to break out of the structure, and this happened here. So the video purpose, which starts off with demonstrate a structured approach to launching and managing 5 YouTube videos, is not something I've done yet. It's something that I'm in the middle of doing. I have 4 that are nearly there. But I had to talk about this not so much as this is how you'll do it, but this is the philosophy. So I've just given it a brief prompt to say the target audience is great, but the idea of the video is about a philosophy. So we end up with a better purpose that we can use. Let's just move back to the workflow builder, and we can see that the information we just collected has been put into a couple of locations. And then I've used a new prompt that we can see here, and that's been merged with that information we just talked about. So we got information here, we got information here, and down the bottom what we should see is new video goals and concepts. So the basic video goal here is to inspire YouTubers, digital content creators, but it's also about encouraging a new way of thinking, an ambitious way of thinking that can be challenging from, say, the mental health or the split of focus or the other sorts of factors that affect quality. But I thought this is something I want to do. This is something I want to have thought leadership around and educate people that this could happen if you could systematize or automate. And a story for me is that a year ago, I was part of a couple of YouTube groups. I'm still part of one of them. And I'd spent a good amount of money learning to be a YouTuber and then associating with people in the groups. And someone mentioned one day they kind of had a jibe at why was I doing this? Why was I trying to run multiple YouTube channels? Because their thoughts was that the leader of this group wouldn't teach that. That would be the worst thing to do because it splits your focus. How do you get your quality up? All these sorts of things. And that challenged my thinking and it challenged my self-esteem. I thought, oh yeah, maybe they're right. And got me backpedaling for a little while. And I played around in my head for a while. And I realized what they didn't understand was that my whole life has been about systematization and automation. So behind me is this idea that even though those statements are true, I think you can run multiple YouTube channels if you can figure out how to create workflows, to automate, to systematize, to automatically create B-roll. And the AI world makes this really available. So this takes us into the video concept, which is the video unfolds as a manifesto presenting a radical idea for launching 5 YouTube channels, producing 555 videos in 55 weeks. Now, I know I keep saying 550, but it's actually 555. And actually, why is it 555? So this is also coming from the fact that sometimes I live in Thailand, and in Thailand, the number 5 is sounded as ha. So it becomes ha, 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 which is the Thai way of saying laugh out loud. So funnily enough, this is the laugh out loud manifesto. Anyway, through thought-provoking insights, compelling analogies, and real-world parallels, it challenges conventional content creation mindsets. That's what I'm trying to do here, urging creators to embrace momentum, discipline, and strategic scaling. There's more stuff going on there, but you get the idea. So what I do is I take this information, I bring it into the workflow. Now, we utilize the goal and the concept over in the workflow, making it available. We've already got the purpose and the audience, and from here we can go to the actual talking points. So let's have a talk about what talking points are. So we have this purpose, audience, goal, and concept, but this is pretty big. What direction do you really want to go in? And this is where I find the concept of talking points to be a really nice way of focusing in on the global picture down to a local set of issues. And usually 3 is enough, but it can be whatever you want. So what I do is we go to the talking points, and I don't want to use my brain to come up with a really well-written talking point. So I come up with something like why I chose the hard path. Just something really simple. And we can see how it flashes out. We've got my ideas of taking disparate ideas and funneling them towards specific audiences, because it's not about niching down, it's about audiencing down. So people that revolve around certain ideas, and that's not always a niche. This is something I learned from people like Dan Coe, who I think is just a great person to listen to. Then we got the idea of showing that it is possible, the idea of multiple channels can serve one purpose. So I have 5 channels, but I have a Venn diagram around 3 of them. So AITLDR is where I have exploration of AI tools happen. Winning prompts is where I plan to do more and more exploration of prompts in workflows or for creating applications, so one-shot prompts that create apps. Then I got AppyDave, which is the brand. That's where everything comes together. Then the other channels that are around those 3 would be AppyDave Research, which is where I personally get to test stuff in a live stream moment. And this will make a lot of sense when we talk about the next video, which is Project Theodore. And then there's Cozy Cafe, which again, you can see more about that in the original podcast. But as we move down, what we end up with is some talking points. Is 4 too many? Maybe, but let's read them out. So the talking points are why I chose the hard part, the mindset of the ambitious challenge, pushing the creative limits. We got the ideas of disparate ideas and funneling them towards different audiences, which I just talked about. And then we've got the idea of showing that it is possible. And I've got a bunch of channels that show that it is actually possible to create large scale content that's of good quality, that's consistent, and that focuses on different mediums systems as well. And then we've got the multiple channels can serve one purpose. I just talked about AI TLDR, winning prompts, and AppyDave, all serving one particular cause. We've done 3 points in the workflow so far. We've got the purpose and the audience. After that, we worked out a video concept and goal that would be good around the 555 Manifesto. Then I decided there are only certain areas I want to talk about. So we've got the talking points in place. The next thing is to bring it into alignment. And the idea of the bringing it into alignment will anything about the goal or the concept actually change? So when we click through to this, we see that we've got the goal, we've got the concept, we've got the talking points, and then we've got this big long prompt. Now, if we go over to where the prompt is run, you can run it from any large language model you like. I love ChatGPT. It says, modify the video concept slightly to better align with the talking points while keeping the video goal unchanged. And that's the recommendation. It's saying that justification. The goal remains accurate because it effectively captures the philosophical and strategic essence of the project, aligning with the talking points. So there's nothing to change there. Okay. However, the video concept should be adjusted to place greater emphasis on the philosophical reasoning and strategic decision making of the project rather than just presenting it as a radical idea. So that sounds great to me. We could read all of it, but the main thing is that it's suggested that there's no change to the goal. There is a change to the concept, and it's copyable. So we can just click on that and make it available within our system. And then it just represents that video goal and concept. So that should remain unchanged. And this one should be based off this value here. So with the alignment on the video goal and concept taken care of, there's only 2 more steps left, and that's coming up with a project name, so I know where to put it on my computer, and a little bit of a YouTube title. So what we'll do is we'll just have a look at the project names it came up with. It came up with a bunch of them. The one I ultimately went with was just 555 Manifesto, a little bit different to what they said. And then if I wanted some YouTube titles for it, I would run the next prompt in the workflow, and this would give us some starting points from which to go. And the good thing is, from packaging for a live stream, I could pretty much take one of these and just start going, and I can come back later in the optimization phase and improve it. Now, a quick look at this, and I'm already very happy with the second one, how I'd create 555 videos in 55 weeks. Watch the process. And if you want to see that particular live stream, come over to AppyDave Research, and it should go up sometime next week. Now, you've seen how you can create a live stream planning pretty quickly. I do it in about 10 to 15 minutes. With this next one, I think it's interesting mainly because the concept is interesting, and we'll just start from the end this time. So we're on the YouTube title, and the YouTube title is Can AI Automate My Life? Exploring Project Theodore. And as we go back, we've got these project names that I came up with, and that's where the videos will be stored. It'll be in Project Theodore. We've got a goal, and we've got talking points, and we'll just come right back to the initial purpose. Now, looking at the initial purpose, it's talk about Project Theodore based on the movie Her, and it's about building autonomous agents that are interacting with the live stream to go and do different things. Now, this is aimed at YouTube content creators. It's also anyone that's interested in automating different aspects of their life. And it came about from me thinking through where ChatGPT and the movie Her were related. So in this movie, this guy, Joaquin Phoenix, and in the movie his name is Theodore, buys an AI operating system. So we'll just call it ChatGPT for this example. And in it, it starts to evolve over time, and it gets to agency. And if you saw the OpenAI operator videos recently, you would see what agency could look like. Now, in this particular movie, he goes off and lives life. He has a kind of a relationship with this AI, and then she starts doing things for him like daily tasks. Then she creates a book for him and puts it on a sales site like Amazon, using stories from his emails. She also writes music about the pair of them. And so you've got this AI agent who's watching your very life and then doing things to help you move forward. This is the idea behind Project Theodore. Now let's have a look at the fact sheet that was generated by Agent Workflow Builder, and we can see here, can AI automate my life? Exploring Project Theodore. And then we've got that it's based on the movie Her, and we've got different concepts coming through, target audience as well. But let's talk about where the initial idea for this came from. So I use Kajabi. I do not use it effectively. So this is a software product that's very expensive to run, and I should be having lessons on it. I should be having email campaigns. There's all sorts of stuff I should be doing, and I don't generally have enough time. And I was looking at this and I asked them for a downgrade and they wouldn't do it. I thought, that really sucks. And it got me thinking, how hard would it be to rewrite Kajabi? Now, it's a very complex software application, so it would take a lot of resources. But because I follow the AI coding paradigms that are out there, I thought, what if you documented it the way a software architect might document a system and have AI recreate it? And so that got me thinking of Project Theodore, because I thought if you live streamed information like walking through the Kajabi website, could you give instructions as metadata like, oh, here is a screen. This is the database table that should be here. These are the fields. This is the user interface. Could then an AI agent recreate that application? Now, I use a lot of AI coding platforms and I've learnt a lot of techniques for making them do what you want to do, but that sort of problem is well beyond where they are today. Maybe in 8 weeks' time they'll be able to do it. And that got me thinking though, that what can we do today? So if I'm watching a live stream or I'm recording a live stream, could that information, which is going to YouTube as video, it's audio, text, could that also be going to an agent who's analyzing it? So you have one agent whose only job is to go, what's coming through? What should I do with it? Who should I delegate it to? And so if I'm doing a video, and this happened this morning on the video I was doing, I thought of a really great idea. I'm talking about it in the live stream and I'm thinking, geez, that'd be a good YouTube short. Can we do that? Or I might encounter a problem and think, I really need to research that. What if I said that in the live stream? What if I said, this is an area I actually need to do deeper research in? And what if that orchestration agent said, oh, okay, I'll give this information, the live stream and that particular part of the live stream, off to a deep research bot, and it can send you a report afterwards. And so this is the idea of this. So the actual live stream I'll record sometime during the week, but these are the basic ideas. Explore the concept of Project Theodore, which we've been doing in this segment anyway, as a speculative AI system that can enhance productivity and automating workflows, real-time research. So one of the things that makes agents that solve a string of problems working together well is what we would call the Agent Workflow Builder. So the Agent Workflow Builder here are a string of prompts that run together with inputs and outputs that just deals with live planning. But we've got them for script development, we've got them for launch optimization, and these are the sorts of things that Project Theodore would leverage to actually execute on anything being said in the live stream. So let's look at the video concept. So when we look through this, and one of the things here is discussing a theoretical framework. So it's not my idea. The idea comes from the movie Her. It comes from my ability to see what's coming down the line. And I'm sure people are working on this sort of project. Am I trying to do it for myself? Would love to, but I don't have the resources. So it's really a thought exercise that I just want to put out into the world and see where it goes from other people. But the main talking points is, can AI automate my content creation? You're seeing that today. So the answer is yes. Can AI take my ideas in the moment and do deep research? Definitely. I could turn around and take this document and just feed it. In fact, let's do it. Let's make life easy for ourselves and just say, we take this information and we just go and open up Perplexity. And Perplexity, this, by the way, this is the long form video, but this is actually how I do live streams. And I say, can you answer this question with tools? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Zapier would kind of be a place this can happen. If this, then that. Yeah, so nothing actually solves this problem in this short research that we're doing right now. And this is what I want to explore with Project Theodore. Now, you've just seen a detailed view of how I planned the 555 manifesto. We've also done a less detailed view of talking about Project Theodore. In the next 4 live streams that I plan to do next week. I'm just going to go through them quickly with a short form detail. So what we've got here is the first one is automating the DENT elevator pitch with AI. And this is based on an Australian guy named Daniel Priestley, the DENT pitch framework. And you would have heard me talking about Project Theodore and 555 Manifesto, and these are what we would call concept ideas. And how do I pitch them? Well, I'd need an elevator pitch. You also heard me talk about different YouTube channels, AI TLDR, Winning Prompts, and AppyDave. How would I pitch them? And I found this video that he created where he talked about how to set up an elevator pitch. And I thought, well, rather than just do it, especially when I got to do it a lot of times, could I convert it into a workflow? Now, one of the interesting things about what I do with the Agent Workflow Builder is that I have a workflow designed for creating workflows. So what I should be able to do in that particular video when I get to it, and I'll just bring it back up, is that I should be able to watch his video, take his transcript, feed it into my Agent Workflow Architect, and generate a workflow so that I can then just fill in a few forms and come up with individual elevator pitches. That last section was done in one take. It was pretty long and I don't usually get that far into it. Maybe my YouTubing's getting better. Let's talk about number 4, live stream planner. Now it's following the same process. So we're going through the live stream planning and it came up with this ScoreApp for my brands, and basically following Daniel Priestley that we just talked about, he has an application, a SaaS application that allows you to get leads into your company, and they're pre-qualified because they fill out a questionnaire that makes them feel like they're either a fit or not a fit, and then they sign up as an email client. I thought, this sounds great. This is exactly what I need for my own brand and the other brands that I'm trying to develop. But I don't know anything about this software. I've watched one of his videos. It was pretty interesting, but I thought I can grab the transcript from it that tells me everything that he talked about. I can run it through the workflow that we just did. So I think I can come up with a live stream plan for that based around everything he said, plus everything I want to get out of it, which is really how do I generate leads for AI TLDR or Winning Prompts or AppyDave. I won't go into details on it. If you want to see the live stream, it'll happen sometime next week. And the last 2 that I've got here are just classic YouTube content creator problems. So for me, I'm always trying to generate B-roll. You would have seen at the beginning of this video that I had a green screen behind me, and I do that so that I can generate images based on what I said. Again, this is where Project Theodore could kick in because it would be able to segment, oh, that's the intro, that's the outro. Since I've heard it and I know what AppyDave or David has said, I should be able to come up with visualization prompts and automatically run it through Leonardo AI or Flux One and generate those images. So the images that you saw at the beginning of this video use that particular process. So one of the things I've going to do a live stream on is actually walk through how I get consistency with images. And there's a few different techniques. None of them are perfect, but I've got one that I like using and I'll talk about it in the live stream. The other big problem that I have, and this is such a time sink for me, let's just head over to Agent Workflow Builder and we're over here. We'll go to the overview and this is the YouTube Launch Optimizer. So 34 steps that I run through most of these whenever I upload a LongForm video. And this is doing everything from video preparation, like figuring out what's in the transcript, the intros, the outros, the calls to action, doing the chapters, and this is specifically what we're going to talk about in a moment, but we've also got the B-roll, content analysis, coming up with information for the thumbnail, how I generate the titles and the text that goes on thumbnail, and then everything I do around the YouTube description. Now, one of the things that the YouTube description takes as input happens to be the chapters, and I have a workflow in here for finding chapters out of transcripts and refining them and creating them. It doesn't work that well anyway. That's the problem I've got. So I've been looking at different neats for dealing with this. I use Gling, which is a great piece of software for editing my videos using text-based editing. It has an automation tool for doing chapters, but whenever I use it, I don't like what it does. Descript is the same. So all those different tools out there don't solve the problem correctly in my point of view. But I came across this product recently called MapAI. Now, MapAI is not designed for chapters. It's designed for finding out all the information in something like a document or a YouTube video, I think. I don't fully know. And that's the point of doing a live stream. This is where I get to research a topic and figure out whether something can work. So my whole goal with that live stream will be to reverse engineer video chapters. How do I take it, say, from this video and get accurate chapters where both the names make sense, they're not too long, and they're right at the correct time in the video, and they're not just talking about stuff that people wouldn't want to go to. It's such a hard problem to solve. So I thought I would explore with MapAI, maybe passing this video would be a good example, and just see how well it comes up with the chapter timings and the chapter names, and then talk about the other concepts that are going on in that particular video. Well, that brings us to the end of our video on live stream planning. Now, what we covered was the setting up of live stream plans, and we worked through 6 different types. We went detailed on the 555 Manifesto and also had a solid look at Project Theodore. I then showed you 4 other variations that will be coming out this week. And the really good thing about all of this is that once these live streams are being done, the ability for me to repurpose them into LongForm videos or podcasts or other types of videos becomes really easy. Well, I'm AppyDave. If you want to work with me one-on-one, then check out the link in the description. These live streams that I've been doing, I've generally been doing them on myself in research or working with someone else who wants to solve a problem with their AI workflows. So if that's of interest, check out the link below. Otherwise, like and subscribe.